The ACFT is the Army Combat Fitness Test. This is the Army's new model of what soldier fitness should look like and the ability to demonstrate how effective a soldier will be in combat and test that in a garrison and non-wartime environment.
The ACFT uses exercises to develop strength, endurance, and mobility using common strength methods.
All the exercises are very relevant to what we would endure in an actual combat situation, such as carrying a buddy off the battlefield, being able to climb over a wall, and various things like that.
There are three standards of this test. You have the gold standard, or the moderate standard, you have the gray standard, or significant, and then you have the black standard, or the heavy standard, and then you have the max. So based on an individual's MOS, they will have to perform at their standard, whether that's gold, gray, or black. So it really depends on what you will be doing with your job, because there's a lot of people that lift a lot of heavy objects or have to move them really far.
A lot of these movements and techniques that we use in the Army Combat Fitness Test are things that we use in our daily lives that we don't even think about. But as a soldier, they're more important because lives are on the line.
The first event of the Army Combat Fitness Test is the 3-repetition maximum deadlift. The 3-repetition maximum deadlift is a strength test which tests a soldier's ability to lift and move personnel and equipment. During the preparatory phase, the soldier will step inside the bar, feet shoulder width apart. They will grasp the center of the bars. On the command, get set, the soldier will lift the bar using their hips and knees up to the vertical position. The vertical position is when the ear, shoulder, hips, and ankles are all aligned in a straight line. Correct form for performing this event is feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to look straight to the front on a spot on the ground approximately 6 feet in front of you. You want to keep your head in a neutral position so your spine is aligned, and you want to lift with your hips and your legs, not with your back. There'll be a slight pause at the top of the movement during the upward movement phase. After that slight pause, they'll enter the downward movement phase where they will slowly control the bar all the way back down to the ground. It is a total of 3 correct repetitions count as one iteration. There are 3 separate weight categories that soldiers will compete for: gold, black, and gray. Gold is the moderate standard, and that's 140 pounds. Gray is the significant standard, and that's 160 pounds. Black is the heavy standard, and that's 180 pounds. But to max the total event is 340 pounds, 3 correct repetitions. Most individuals have problems with the 3-repetition max deadlift just because of poor technique. So focus on the technique and the strength will come.
The second event in the Army Combat Fitness Test is the standing power throw. The standing power throw's purpose and tactical significance are that it contributes to a soldier's ability to perform quick, explosive movements, such as jumping, lifting or loading equipment, or to help a buddy climb a wall. It requires that a soldier demonstrates balance, flexibility, and coordination. The lane 1 grader will be centered on the starting line between the 2 lanes, while the lane 2 grader will be positioned centered on the testing lane to mark the impact of the ball. The last soldier in the line being graded will position behind the lane grader and return the medicine ball being thrown. On the command of "Get set," the soldier from both lanes will approach the start line. 2 soldiers will face away from the lane and place their heels behind the start line. Grasp the 10-pound medicine ball with both hands at hip level. On the command of "Go," the specified lane will throw. Lane 1 and 2 will alternate throws so as to prevent injuries. The ball must remain in both hands and be thrown over the head. Both of the soldiers' feet will remain behind the start line at all times and will be observed by the start line grader. The first throw is a practice throw and will not be recorded. The soldier must make 2 attempts. The scorer will mark the center point of the ball where it lands and read off the measure to the nearest decimeter. The longer of the 2 throws will count as the raw score. Faults will occur when a soldier steps on or over the line during the throw. If this occurs, the soldier will repeat that throw. 2 faults in a row will result in a 0-meter throw for that attempt. The scoring standards for the standing power throw are gold 4.6 meters, gray 6.5 meters, black 8.5 meters, and a maximum distance of 13.5 meters.
All right, so the third event of the Army Combat Fitness Test is the hand release push-up. The purpose and tactical significance of the hand release push-up is to be able to test a soldier's abilities to push equipment, such as a Humvee, to be able to push themselves up and off of the ground during individual movement techniques. The starting position for the hand release push-up is a prone position where the thumbs are touching the outside of the chest. The chest, the hips, the thighs, and the feet will be on the ground. The feet can be together or they can be up to 1 foot width apart. On the command of go, the soldier will begin by pushing their body off of the ground in a generally straight line, fully locking the arms out until they're in the full upright front-leaning rest position. Then they will lower the body down to the ground and they will extend the arms out to a 90-degree angle. And then they will return the hands back where the thumbs touch the chest. That is in completing of 1 repetition. For the hand release push-up, you will have 2 minutes to complete as many repetitions as possible. Standards for this test are 10 repetitions for gold, the moderate standard, 20 repetitions for gray, the significant standard, and 30 repetitions for black, the heavy standard. In order to max this event, you will have to perform 70 push-ups. The fourth event of the Army Combat Fitness Test is the sprint drag carry. The purpose and tactical significance of the sprint drag carry is to be able to measure a soldier's ability to perform in a combat situation, to be able to move under a load, to be able to drag a casualty, and be able to provide proper equipment within a short period of time. On the command of go, the individual will begin by running down the lane and touch with the hand and foot on or beyond the 25-meter lane. Then they will run back. When they come back, they will secure the sled. They will then begin by going down, pulling the sled, and walking backwards all the way until the sled and themselves have surpassed the line. They will then turn around and come back until the sled has completely crossed the starting line. Then they will begin the lateral. They will face in either direction, left or right, their preference, and they will lateral all the way down until their hand and foot touches the far line. Then they will lateral back in the exact same direction until they've surpassed the starting line. Then they will secure the kettlebells and they'll go all the way down to the far line where their foot will touch the line. They will then come all the way back, set the kettlebells down in a controlled manner as not to throw them or toss them, and then they will sprint down where their hand and foot touch on or beyond the line, and then they will sprint back, completing that event. For the gold standard or moderate, you will need to execute this in 3 minutes and 35 seconds. To get the gray standard or significant, you will need 2 minutes, 45 seconds. For the black standard, you will need to complete this in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And for the maxing of this event, you will need to complete it in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
The leg tuck is the 5th exercise of the ACFT. The purpose and tactical significance tests the soldier's ability to perform climbing tasks and negotiating obstacles such as a vertical wall or climbing up along a rope. On the command get set, the soldier will assume a straight arm hang on the bar with feet off the ground, knees bent if necessary, with hands at the midpoint of the bar with alternating grip. On the command go, the soldier flexes the elbows, knees, hips, and waist to bring the knees up to the elbows. The elbow must flex, they cannot remain straight. Both elbows must touch both knees and or thighs. The soldier must return to under the control of the straight arm hang position to complete each repetition. Scoring standard for this is gold, being the moderate is 1, gray being the significant is 3, and the black is heavy with 5 repetitions, and the max is 20.
The 2-mile run test is used to test the soldier's ability to conduct dismounted movement, ruck marching, and infiltration. On the command get set, the soldiers will line up at the starting line. On the command go, the soldiers will then start the run for the 2-mile and complete the distance. Soldiers are tested on their ability to complete the 2-mile in the shortest time possible. In order for a soldier to reach gold or moderate, they would need to run the 2-mile within 21 minutes and 7 seconds. To reach the gray level or significant, they would need to run their 2-mile in 19 minutes. To reach black or heavy, they would need to run their 2-mile within 18 minutes. The max for the 2-mile run is 12 minutes and 45 seconds. During the 2-mile run, walking is authorized, but it is highly discouraged.